Trafficked is a 2017 drama thriller horror movie directed by Will Wallace starring Ashley Judd, Sean Patrick Flannery, and Ann Archer. I thought a movie about this would be fitting based on what I preach and post about all the time, and, well, it's not great to say the least. Subtlety is not in this movie's vocabulary. Just 15 minutes and we're already seeing cartels shipping human victims, girls being raped, and our main characters being trafficked. And yes, this is in the first 15 minutes. I understand that it shouldn't be all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to human trafficking, but you have to have some subtlety at the start. This is like a slasher movie where the main characters are just automatically just slashed. You just can't do that. Oh boy, here we go. So we start with this Indian chick who gets drugged and taken to some Indian brothel where a Japanese guy fingers her. Yep, that is shown. Sure, she has a dress on, but you can see what the guy's trying to do. Oh, and she's in a room called the Virgin Room. Like, I don't doubt trafficking rings have rooms called that, but really? You're gonna show the Japanese man fingering her? I mean, that's all we see until he leaves, but when we see her in the fetal position, but I mean, come on. Yeah, sadly, this movie is just shock value, and my god, do they use. Anyway, the next scene takes us to America, where we see some blonde girl named Sarah that's celebrating her 18th birthday at some orphanage. And then there's this child service lady that tells her she has to go to Texas for reasons. I don't remember why, but it had something to do with her being 18, but for whatever reason, the nun that runs the orphanage finds this okay despite this sounding sketchy as fuck. Like, really? Child Protective Services shows up and says, "You're 18, go to Texas." Whatever. Then we meet this black girl who explains to Indian girl what's happening, and then we go back to Sarah and some other girls being driven off to an off-road site to be taken by some weak-looking guys. Wait, what? Where did these girls come from? They don't mention where they came from, they're just there. So CPS lady gives the girls to these guys, and one tries to run away, and the other guy pistol whips her, and the other one freaks out. And then CPS lady, no joke, calls the guys fucking morons. I legit broke out laughing when this happened because it was so freaking funny. Oh yeah, we're still only 15 minutes in. This movie is so much fucking faster than you think. Oh my fucking god. Then some out-of-place pop music plays while some Italian guys ship the black and Indian girl to Mexico. And then they're going to Texas. Yeah, we just see them being put in a truck and sent to Texas. We don't even see the boat getting to Mexico. It just cuts to a truck. I think. I don't remember, and I'm not going to rewatch it just to find out. Anyway, at Texas, we meet redneck trafficker who tells the girls literally everything that happens there and what they can and can't do. They're also not chained up or anything, and there's literally just one guard, and redneck has like 10 girls standing around him. Wait. Why? One guy with a tiny pea shooter and a redneck with a few girls surrounding his neck while he sits in a chair and 4 girls behind the guard? None of them are handcuffed or tied up. Why? They could just overpower these guys and kill them and escape. Oh yeah, and then Sarah shows up running through the building trying to escape from one other guard that's there. And that doesn't happen. She gets caught in barbed wire or something. And the only ones who seem to be nervous about anything is Sarah and the Indian girl. The rest of the girls are actually joking about what Sarah did. They are literally making jokes about their situation. Then black girl looks upset, I guess. Like, I mean, sure, she's accepted that she's a slave, and that's that. An Indian girl and Sarah are terrified at this thought, but the rest don't care? Really? This is just 21 minutes in, and that's about all we get until the end. Oh boy. Yeah, for some reason the girls have free access to the building and are assigned to personal rooms they can enter and leave as they please. Okay, first off, I'm pretty sure no cartel will just let their slaves walk around conversing with the patrons of the place freely. Second off, why are they told where their rooms are? Shouldn't they just be locked in and have to wait for a man to come to them? This is not how it would work. Like, I know the doors are locked at night, but that doesn't mean anything. Now, I'll admit, I don't really know how trafficking works. It's different. I'm sure it's different at every different place, but from what I do know, they are not given freedoms. And these girls have way too much freedoms. And they're also told that if they make enough money, they can buy their freedom. Which isn't true, but I don't know why they're even bothering with that. Like, why are you even giving them money in the first place? Okay, whatever. And then, after we're introduced to all this stuff, we then see this guard fondling and groping these girls. And it goes on for too long. Like, then we have a flashback to where we see Sarah and her dad murdering her mother, and wow. Like, wow. We didn't need to know why she's an orphan. We didn't need to see that. Why is this here? Not only is this just for more shock value, but are we supposed to believe that an 8-year-old Sarah and her 6-year-old sister are able to outrun a drunken, enraged man? I can't fucking do this anymore, man. Fuck this. Anyway, so this fails to be scary because it's just shock value. I mean, it's almost comedic the way it happens. And that's not okay to have in a movie about human trafficking. Then there's this weird shot that foreshadows the ending of the movie where Black Girl hears a train by the house. And then probably one of the worst parts of this whole 21-minute endeavor comes, where it's daylight and then the redneck just walks around waking the girls up like it's a fucking summer camp. Like, it's like in Harry Potter 1 where the aunt just goes to Harry Potter's room, bangs on the door, and is like, yo, get up, make us breakfast. Like, that's basically what he does. Sarah's still asleep, and he's like, yo, come on, up and at 'em. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Daylight's burning. We gotta get up. We've got stuff to do. So the girls leave their rooms and then they go to the kitchen, and then Redneck's just sitting in the living room playing Call of Duty or something while the girls are eating breakfast, and they're very clearly able to take whatever eating utensils they want. Like, they are shown to be using knives and stuff. Look, there's like 2 guards in there plus Redneck, and Redneck's playing Call of Duty, and the 2 guards are eating breakfast. What is stopping them from just killing these guys? And they're also allowed to just walk around and talk to each other like this is lunch in a cafeteria? No! Ugh. No. Why? Ugh. So Molly, the black girl, is just super chill and making jokes the whole time, which is super inappropriate. Like, there's black comedy, no pun intended, and then there's this. A good example of black comedy is a game called Duke Nukem, where the character makes jokes and one-liners to release stress, and because the game itself is supposed to be a parody. This is a movie that's supposed to be serious, but it is failing really, really badly. Molly even makes a joke about a guy who abused Mamba, as he's just a beastly, ugly wanker. You can't do that. You can have comedy and dark scenes, but you can't have comedic moments in a movie that's trying to be super serious on an issue like this. Now, I'm sure I know someone's just going to argue, well, she's just playing to cope, and I say, I don't care. 13 Reasons Why does the exact same thing, and it is also a shit show. Don't worry, I'll get to that show eventually. And it makes its serious subject basically a comedy. Like, I get the point of the character, but it doesn't excuse it being bad and almost offensive. Anyway, Molly talks back to a guard that's pouring her coffee and insults him for being a gypsy, and she doesn't get punished. For so an alarm bell rings while Redneck's playing Call of Duty, and then a bunch of guys walk in and start ogling the girls, and they're literally wearing shirts that say stuff like beer good and drugs are awesome. And anyway, Sarah gets picked by some gross guy, and they show too much of him trying to rape her before she kicks him in the balls when Redneck comes out of nowhere and pumps drugs into her. Then she gets raped with the door wide open, and we can hear the rapist moaning. Good job, movie. You did succeed in making me uncomfortable. My God, you... No! Why? You can't do that! No! You cannot show something like that happening. You cannot just leave it to audio either. Leave it implied. That's worse. In some ways. But in this instance, this is worse. Because people can get off to that. I hate to say it, but there are rape kinks out there, and people will be getting off to that. I know there are people that have gotten off to that. Anyway, we go back to the orphanage, and Sarah's sister is asking the nun if she's heard anything, so the nun calls the CPS lady, and the lady says they'll find a way to send Sarah's sister down to meet her. Because they think she's a waitress on a boat or something. And then we get a scene where Sarah is crying in the shower, desperately trying to scrub herself off, and there's way too much partial nudity to not be sexualizing her. Like, if it was just behind the glass of the shower, I guess that's fine. Well, we actually see her out of the shower trying to open an air vent to escape. And I mean, yeah, she's covering her stuff, but we can still see her naked. Come on, movie. Why? We're not even halfway through yet, and I'm already getting upset. So then we see Molly and Amba in the same room together. Wait, what? Aren't they supposed to be in different rooms? Oh yeah, Amba's the Indian girl. Why would they be allowed to be in the same room together? Never mind. We just get a flashback to Amba winning a swim meet wherein she's rejecting an incel who ends up kidnapping her in the beginning. Thanks, I guess. Glad to know he's a swimmer. So then Sarah's talking to the gypsy guy who's a worker at this place, and he's an illegal immigrant, and he's only working here for money to get food for his family. So we're not supposed to care for him then, right? Because he's justifying his actions by saying his family won't have food. So we're not supposed to like this guy. Because he's just doing this for his own reason. Yeah, I know he's helping his family, but he very clearly knows what's happening is more illegal than being an illegal immigrant, right? There are worse things than being deported. Yeah, whatever. So then we get a decent scene where we learn about how a few of the girls got trafficked due to modeling. I liked this because this is kind of what happens. This has happened in real life. This is one of the most common ways trafficking happens. But then they destroyed this scene by having the girl explain that she was drugged and then showing her in a bathtub being raped by a creepy old man. God damn it! You had a chance to have a good freaking scene in this movie, and you ruin it by making it a softcore porn! I could literally edit these rape scenes and put them on Pornhub, and you would think that this was a legit porn. You can't do that in this kind of a movie. Side note, Pornhub and other porn sites actually do have videos of girls being raped in human trafficking situations, but I don't think I'll be able to talk about that. Oh my fucking god. What a way to start. Why is this even happening? I can't fucking believe that I watched this fucking movie. It goes without saying that you can't do something like that in a movie about human trafficking, but for whatever reason, they show them. The same thing happened in 13 Reasons Why with the rape and suicide scenes. You just can't do something like that. Anyway, back to the movie. So Sarah still seems to be the only one that's actually scared. And the other girls believe that they're getting out after being raped by X amount of men. Now this could be interesting, but it's this movie. Do you really think they're going to make this scene interesting? So the alarm goes off again, and Sarah gets picked by this creepy, skinny white guy. Like, I mean, where did they find this guy? This guy is really, really creepy looking. Like, this dude needs a freaking sandwich or something. And there's also this Asian girl that gets picked by this literal neckbeard stereotype. Is this movie memeing? So then we cut outside the ranch, and some security guards get shot by this guy who wants to see the redneck. His name is Simon, by the way. And they just drive on in. Okay, a few questions. Why is the gate just wide open? I mean, the guards are surprised to see the truck pulling up, so it's not like they're expecting visitors to show up. The ranch hands also apparently didn't hear the gunshots, which is not how guns work. We're in Texas, and this is a secluded ranch. They would hear gunshots. Even the ranchers are confused about the truck showing up. So why the hell was the gate open? Ugh, whatever. They execute a girl for some reason that's in their truck because they want to talk to Simon. Why did they kill her? Because Simon didn't pay them something? They say that he owes them money for girls and drugs, but they kill a girl that they could make money off of. Something Simon himself points out. So what was the point? They're pissed he's not paying their boss money for the girls he makes money off of, so they kill a girl that has nothing to do with Simon's operation? And then they give him more dead girls because he says he's paid their boss in advance and he can't get money off dead girls? What was the point of this scene? Shock value? That's all I'm getting, but considering this entire movie is shock value, I'm guessing this isn't the case. Also, the girls are just tied up in the back of a pickup truck with no back hood, so what happens if they hit a bump on a public road? Come to think of it, how did they get the one alive girl to not be noticed in the back seat of a truck for, I'm guessing, a long time, considering these guys came from Mexico? Then we get the aftermath of Sarah's rape, where she's kissing the rapist goodbye on the cheek, and she steals a fountain pen he has and tries to pry open the vent in the shower. In the next scene, Molly talks about a floppy banana being a sad piece of meat, and oh my fucking god, it's a fucking dick joke about how she likes proper meat and not the sad meat that these guys give her. Yeah, it's not outright said that way, but the way she says it heavily implies, and the sweet like sugar one-liner at the end really fucking sells it. And to top it off, she makes a joke about how everyone's hungry and that's why they're there. Oh my god, someone just fucking kill me right now. I can't fucking deal with this anymore. God fucking damn it. The worst part about this scene is they try to save it by having Molly say that she came from a poor family, not a rich family like Amba. Sorry, movie, but you had your chance, and you ruined it. Where Molly shows a guy cutting her wrists and screaming Nigerian at her, saying he's a juju priest who then sells girls to Europe. Begs the question why she was in India at the beginning, because that's all the way in Asia, but I mean, I guess she could have been sold back there or something. Anyway, the Nigerian traffickers blackmail the girls by saying their souls will be cursed if they don't repay them. This should have been the scene. This. Not some dick joke, and then this. I mean, why is there even a sexual joke in this movie in the first place? You're trying to make this a super emotional scene, but they ruined the moment at the start. That would be like you throw up and then go in for the kiss goodnight. That's disgusting. And not in a, oh my god, that's fucked up way. More like a, what the fuck, who wrote this? Oh, and Amba's pregnant, I guess. Wait, hold on. It's been several months? The way the movie's shot, you'd think it's just a couple of days. What? How? I guess they're trying to show how the girls have no sense of time, but the movie has only had Sarah raped twice. And I highly doubt she was only raped twice in a couple of months. And Amba's been raped twice, I guess. Once at the beginning and once at Simon's place. So I'm guessing she must have gotten pregnant from the Jap at the beginning of the movie. Why am I even thinking about this? Oh, and it's still trying to be emotional with Molly saying stuff like the world's given up on them or something. I don't know. I don't even care anymore. Yeah, that's not good either. I actually lost all care for these victims. And you know what's really sad? The scene started with a joke because she was actually a pretty sad scene where the girls, including Molly, kind of accepted that they were slaves. Oh well. You blew it, movie. Then we cut to Simon talking to some guy at this meat processing factory, and the guy exposits what the cartels are doing, which is just making money, but he explains it in the weirdest way I've ever heard. He says that they're in a system to make money that they can't otherwise make. What? You said you weren't making money, so you're in a system that lets you make money to send the cartel money. Is anyone else confused? Because that's basically what he said. Oh, and then it's a whole thing. The guy's the mayor or something, and he's keeping the border open and has the county rangers protecting Simon, and I've officially lost all fucks. I mean, the guy literally says, "We white men sell others for money." Oh, fuck off, movie. I just checked, too, and I'm only halfway through. So then Simon is giving the girls presents? I think they're dildos, but I really don't care. I mean, they're sitting around like it's fucking Christmas. And for all we know, it might actually be Christmas. Anyway, this one girl who says she's been raped 500 times is finished, and she's freaked out because this other trafficker guy that brought her here is here to take her somewhere else, and she freaks out and tries to fight him, and to no one's surprise, they were never going to let the girls go, and they end up killing her. Woo! Shock value, like nobody saw that coming. Actually, I lied. Simon didn't see her getting shot, and he's in shock. Huh. Okay, movie. Got me, I guess. Never really seen the bad guy shocked that a bad guy killed a good guy. Huh. Even his guards are shocked. But again, the scene's ruined by a bunch of girls we don't know looking mildly concerned, like someone got hurt at a football game. Thanks, movie. So we find out that they're harvesting organs from the dead girls, and they're giving the organs to people who need them, which is actually pretty fucked up if you think about it. But, okay, let's take a break real fast. We have a government figure with corrupt cops working with terrorists to sell women for sex and drug trafficking, and the women they kill they sell as organs on the black market? Who wrote this? Like, honestly, who thought this was a good idea? I mean, I don't doubt something like this has happened before, but this is just so over-the-top cliche that I fail to see how this was based off a true story. Sarah learns it's impossible to escape from the ranch, and she's completely given up on God and breaks down in tears in an admittedly really sad scene. This was actually pretty good, not gonna lie. Gypsy Man is even feeling regret because he really just wants to help, but he can't risk hurting his family, so I guess that's character development. I don't know. Anyway, Simon finds out that Amba is pregnant and gives her an abortion pill or whatever. I honestly don't really know what's happening here, because it was just very poorly done. Also, for whatever reason, the movie's now just leaving the characters' doors open at night. So whatever the pill was, it didn't work or something, so Amba's gone into labor now. Wait, what? She's in labor? How much time has passed? It's already been 9 months? So Simon gets a doctor for Amba. Sarah gets some sleeping pills from him, and she's making a plan to escape. Guess they forgot about the cameras that Simon said were on the ranch. Also, the doctor doesn't work for the cartel based on him giving Sarah sleeping pills for Amba. So why is he not wondering why there's so many different races of girls on this white guy's ranch? And they're all around the same age. Maybe he will later. He won't. So now Simon is gathering his men for a raid on the Mexican cartel, and he's leaving one guard to watch the brothel. Oh boy, this is going to get boring. Right now, not even having seen the movie, I predict that they'll drug the guard, not take his guns, he'll wake up as they're trying to escape, he'll hunt them down, Gypsy Man will sacrifice himself, and the girls will escape. Well, let's see if I'm right. So Sarah gets her friends together for the escape, and that train from earlier, I guess, comes back because that train is coming that night. Wow, that's lucky. Sarah and Molly both have something to fight for to escape, but Amba's just going to join them because she's back in the rape lineup, I guess. So that night, they drug the guard's drink with the help of the gypsy man, and the locked doors come back into play because he actually locks them this time. Cool. Why were they unlocked the whole rest of the movie? Whatever. Sarah stares at a crucifix and is armed with a toenail clipper, ready to fuck shit up. Molly tries to convince Amba to join them, which is odd because I thought the doors were locked. I'm not even going to bother. Now we're seeing Simon's men fuck up the Mexicans, and I just can't help but wonder if this was put into the movie for a badass action scene or something, but it's just really bad. I mean, it's awful. The Americans kill a few guys, then burn the house down, and that's it? Cool, thanks. Why? Also, it's shot really bad, and it's clear none of the actors have ever played paintball or anything in their lives based on how stupid both sides are. I'm not even sure why it's here. It's not like we care about either side, so why show us the fight? Back at Simon's house, Sarah opens the vent with the toenail clippers and somehow crawls through them. Now, this was weird. I'm not sure if this was the movie or me, but it, to me, sounds like the background of the soundtrack, there's gunfire, hinting that Simon's guys are still fighting. I'm guessing this is the music because it's in sync with the soundtrack, but it sounds like gunfire. So if it is gunfire, how are they hearing the battle that's going on in Mexico, but they didn't hear the gunfire earlier? I guess at this point you could say I'm nitpicking, but... So I'm decided not to go with them, so it's just Sarah and Molly. Guess fuck the other girls. But oh, surprise, surprise, Amba jump scares them and decided to come. Wait. How'd she get out? Her door was locked. They didn't unlock it. And why was she behind them by Sarah's room? Her room's not even over there. This is a legitimate problem in a huge era that I don't think they didn't care about because there's just 3 girls and they're our main characters, so they have to escape. This could not get any lazier. So Gypsy guy hid $40 for them behind some picture and told them to have a cup of tea for him because he likes to give them tea all the time. Great. Another joke. The guard's still asleep and they don't try to kill him or anything. Fuck your morals. Slit his goddamn throat or take his fucking revolver. But no, Sarah decides to just quietly steal his keys. Wait, why do you need the keys? Are the locks on the other side? And why aren't the keys used for the cells? Shouldn't they require a key and not just a bolt? He has an entire key ring, so what's the point of a giant key ring? But it gets so much worse. She gets his keys, and as soon as she turns her back... Okay, get ready. This is so freaking stupid. A stool goes flying through a window, the guard wakes up and starts choking her, and then Molly hits him with the glass and says, "Bag it off!" Which is another awful joke, because earlier in the movie she said she likes the word bugger. Oh my fucking god. A fucking one-liner in a movie that's supposed to be a serious human trafficking movie. So they use the keys to unlock a gate, and it's tense because there's a lot of keys and the guard might wake up, and oh my god, just stab him with a knife! He's in the kitchen and you guys have had access to knives for the entire movie! We've seen them make sandwiches, for fuck's sake! Just grab a knife and stab his heart! Or take his gun and shoot him in the head multiple times! Why are movie characters so freaking stupid? So they finally get the gate open and they run towards the train tracks that's by the river, and some stock action movie music plays, and Sarah can't swim, so Amba has to save her, and oh my god, it's a fucking wet t-shirt scene. And then a song starts playing as a montage shows them traveling across the desert, and the train tracks are miles from the house. Wait, what? They could hear the train from the scene at the start as if it was right next to the house, but it's actually several miles away, and it's also daylight now? Whatever. Also, their clothes are dry. That's good, I guess. I'll let that error slide. So they find the train, but it's leaving, and Sarah screams really loud and is like, we gotta keep moving. They're like, whoa, there's a fucking truck stop over there, but it's owned by Simon. And then Molly trips, and it's like really fucking funny. Like, she takes one step and then trips on literally nothing. Some of you know this, but as of recording this, I'm hurt in my foot, and I can tell you that the way she tripped would not cause an injury. At most, it might twist her ankle, but it definitely would not prevent her from being able to continue moving. So then some guy named Gameboy is at the truck stop, and despite the girls screaming, he and no one else there heard them, and it is broad freaking daylight. For some reason, these two girls can't lift one girl whose foot is hurt. What, did she break her foot or something? I guess. She screams, and that's when Gameboy suddenly hears them. Oh no, it's tense now. Molly is telling them to leave her, and they're trying to convince her otherwise, and they're being really loud. And the movie's trying to be sad and dramatic, but somehow Sarah and Amba get away despite two guys walking towards them. They find Molly, and Gypsy Guy has to call the guards, and Molly takes another joke, and now Sarah and Amba are at a sexualized truck stop, and they jump in the back of an open truck full of fruit. What a great idea. So Simon finds out they're gone, and they get out of the truck when the guy stops somewhere, and they run into a nearby town, and instead of telling anyone what's going on, they buy a bus ticket to Austin. Despite the fact that they are obviously super upset and nervous about something, no one seems to care. So they get on the bus, and Simon's just allowed to walk on a bus that's about to leave despite not having a ticket? What? I mean, the bus driver doesn't even care he walks on. But oh, he got on the wrong bus, and the girls are hiding under the seat, and Simon is just checking the other bus seats. That's really weird. Like, why is no one stopping him? So then he gets on the other bus, and no one cares he's holding them up at the depot, or cares that there's literally two teenage girls trying to hide under the seat. But then the bus driver's like, bro, fuck off, I'm on the clock, and Simon leaves the bus. Wow, that was lucky. Definitely didn't see that coming. So they get to a church, and they talk to the father there about something, and then they call Sarah's old nun, and a montage of FBI guys going around fucking up the trafficking ring by boarding a plane for the politician, raiding Simon's house, truck stop, and arresting the CPS lady. Honestly, it's really kind of boring. Nothing cool, just a bunch of guys in suits running in slow motion with guns. Pretty anticlimactic, if you ask me. So Sarah and Amba hug, and Amba calls her parents, and it's kind of heartwarming. There's some intense piano music, and Sarah reunites with her sister at the orphanage. Then it fades to black and shows a bunch of girls lying in the street being sold off to various rapists, and oh my god. Fucking damn it, movie. How the fucking hell is this happening? The fucking state is currently crawling with FBI, so how is Molly being sold again after the ranch was raided? Ugh. Then it has a PSA of there are millions of trafficked sex slaves in the world today, up to 100,000 of whom live in the United States. Sex traffickers make $100 billion in profit the year before the movie came out, and the average age of sex slaves is that of 14. And then the movie's over, and I'm really upset. Look, let's get this out of the way. I appreciate what it tried to do. I wish more movies would, but it's honestly really hard for a movie to do something of this caliber. I could commend them for trying to do this, but it failed on so many levels. Now, I'll be honest, I made a video game where sex trafficking was used as a shock factor. That was like 2 minutes long for a simple competition, and that was the entire point. It was just to bring awareness to the issue. It wasn't supposed to be good or even fun, and it wasn't even really a demo. Now I'll admit, I'm making a Call of Duty styled game where you fight human traffickers, and honestly it'll probably end up bad like this movie. And I really wanted to like this movie. I really did. But unfortunately, it's awful. Absolutely garbage. It has way too many sex scenes, too many attempted jokes, and honestly, just a really bad portrayal of traffickers. I mean, Simon is, all things considered, really kind for a trafficker. I mentioned earlier that he read stories that contradict this, and it's disgusting. I'll admit, I'm probably overreacting. Honestly, The movie just really isn't that good. It tried to be 13 Reasons Why first season, but failed a little harder. And there's also huge continuity issues and a really bad portrayal of the whole situation. Like, I don't recommend watching it because the acting was... the acting was okay, but the rest of it is just awful. The plot starts off going a mile a minute, and then it just crawls and crawls and crawls. It glorifies rapes by showing them on camera and having so many of them just in the movie in general. The bad guys are all males, which is odd. Yeah, there are 2 women traffickers, but the movie didn't do anything with them. There's also some weird, racial undertones in this movie. All the bad guys are either white males or Mexicans. Normally I wouldn't care if that were the case, but in this kind of a movie, I feel like the director may be slightly racist or something, because they literally only show 2 races being the bad guys. And here's the thing. What makes a human trafficker scary is that they're not this typical looking mustache twirling bad guy. They're usually just some normal guy that does normal stuff and does this underground. Tooele was involved in that scandal like this a few years ago. With, what was it, Tooele's baseball coach or something? Trafficked is unfortunately just a fear-mongering PSA that has no real substance. That's only saving grace is a few decent scenes of legitimate horror. And honestly, the actors are actually pretty good for the most part. Well, that's all I've really got to say. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.